In this episode, we're tearing down a GSX250 engine belonging to a young lady. I actually have female fans. Just opening the cover, I can already see it's trashed. Let's see if this engine from a gentle lady was actually treated gently. Look at these valves, they've been hammered into rivets. Normally, it should look like this. This makes me seriously doubt if she's a tough girl with a beard. Sarcasm. Her voice sounded quite gentle, though. Modern women truly don't fall behind men. All you guys playing with GSX250s are just little brothers compared to her. Look at the cylinder head, can you guys even wreck it like this? The exhaust valves are completely gone. As they say, any mechanical myth can be shattered by a female driver. And this is a Suzuki, known for its reliability. Oh boy. Found the valve. The piston and the valve are deeply in love. What a tragic accident. No need to talk about the cylinder anymore, don't even look at it. Look at this exhaust valve. Can you even tell it used to be a valve? This lady might have used poor quality fuel from a sketchy gas station. Let's admire this piston up close. It's been punched right through. Tell me, isn't this spectacular? We have to keep tearing it down, the lady said. Restore it for her. And then upgrade it to 300 cubic centimeters, since there's a lot of debris inside the engine. We'll strip it down and use an ultrasonic cleaner. She also instructed that if I'm not satisfied with any part, just replace them all. Her previous boyfriend was replaced because he wouldn't let her ride motorcycles. Laughter. So this engine won't be spared either. Aluminum shavings are everywhere. The clutch was checked and seems fine. If you've watched this far, please give a like and follow, brothers. This cylinder head is definitely toast. Must replace it with a new one. Mainly because Suzuki parts aren't actually that expensive. Honestly, they are much cheaper than some domestic brand parts. This is why many riders choose joint venture brands. They are relatively more stable. Another main reason is the parts aren't expensive. I hope certain domestic brands can optimize their parts pricing. Lower them. See, there are aluminum shavings here too. Next, the part I'm most concerned about is the crankshaft. Since the piston was smashed like that. Let's check the crankshaft first. Wow, luckily it's fine. Removing the balance shaft. You really can't do this without an ultrasonic cleaner. Debris is literally everywhere. Removing the main and counter shafts, I checked them too. No issues there. I was worried about the gears catching debris, but they're okay. Let's check the connecting rod bearings, they're fine. Suzuki uses imported Dyno bearings. The piston hit so hard it only deformed the small end of the connecting rod. It's hard to fit the piston pin now, so we'll replace the rod. The crankshaft is fine. That's a stroke of luck in this disaster. But this lady is quite something. She even felt it was too slow and lacked power, so she wanted the upgrade. The main bearings on this side are fine too. Alright, thanks for watching. That's it for this video. Reassembly in the next one. This time, we're putting the lady's GSX250 back together. Crankshaft is okay, replaced one rod and installed it. Thrust bearings. After the teardown video was posted, some riders asked, why didn't you mention the brand of the bearings? Okay, I'll tell you now. Early Suzuki 250s used Japanese Dyno. Copper-based bearings with a lead-plated surface. Domestic ones are usually tin-based. This ultrasonic cleaner is a lifesaver. Look how clean it is. Recent years GSX250s use Japanese NDJ bearings. Also copper-based and lead-plated. Installing the forged piston. This piston looks gorgeous. Upgraded to 300 cubic centimeters displacement. After the mod, it won't feel sluggish anymore. 0 to 100 km per hour is over 2 seconds faster than stock. This is feedback from most owners who have done this modification. New cylinder head going on. See how the original head was battered? The valve seats were destroyed. It's safer to replace than to repair seats. This is her valve. Just a stick left. Literally stripped to the bone. Listen to the sound for some stress relief. After the modification, the power can reach 21.9 kilowatts. With this high-lift camshaft, it's 0.4 kilowatts higher than even a big bore 300 cubic centimeters. If you want even more power, we can go bigger. There's a 61 mm lightweight forged piston. Actual displacement would be 323 cubic centimeters. Maximum stable limit is around 350 cubic centimeters. Some owners, after upgrading to 323 cubic centimeters, removed the speed limiter and did a custom tune. Check out these stats. It actually hit 40 horsepower. Honestly, it exceeded my expectations. Later I'll have him test the GSX and DL2. Because this one is a GW. Here are the dyno results. Take a look. This owner is quite impressive. And let me tell you, he used an external automotive ECU to tune these results. I never saw that coming. I'm totally impressed. But then again, Suzuki's 2-valve engine isn't bad at all. We can't say 4-valve is always better. Each has its pros and cons. Generally, 2-valve has better low-end torque. 4-valve has better airflow, so its top speed is slightly better. Slightly. Many riders complain about the 2-valve design. True, it doesn't look as good on paper. But 2-valve hasn't been phased out yet. It still has its advantages. Alright, if you've watched this far, please give a like and follow, brothers. Testing compression.